what I call this just a little niche collection of workhorse style patches. This is actually my wife's collection. Well, how did this come about? Initially, Debbie saw these little Daniel Boone man on the first year, second year, third year, and fourth year of Camp WD Campbell. Well, at the winter banquet, the lodge winter banquet one year, she saw this little Daniel Boone man on a workhorse day camp, and she said, "I gotta have it, to go with my Daniel Boone man." So this is kind of where it all started. Was at winter banquet, and I say it's all the little Daniel Boone man's fault. But these workhorse style patches were popular with a few councils back in the late 60s and the 70s, and it hasn't been too much since then. So she started out with pretty much what I call the classic shaped older Okanichi workhorse patches. And again, her 1968 was the first one that she collected, which I knew there was this Camp Reeves, we call this the Aqua patch. And then I knew about the green Camp Reeves Workhorse Weekend. Didn't know anything about the brown one or the Rainy District Camporee one. But anyway, ended up finding all these, and then you guys are familiar with this too. Is this all of them? I want all of them. Well, I started finding some varieties in them. We'll take a look at that. The Aqua one has a smooth twill, and it's very plain. It's this pretty smooth twill. And then we found a twill right to this same patch. I think the twill right is actually probably a tougher patch because I've got 5 or 6 of these smooth twills to the one twill right. Also found what I considered enough to be a variation in the green Camp Reeves Workhorse patch. And I call on the right the compressed workhorse. And if you look at it pretty close, the O in this is a little more compressed than the O's in this. And this comes pretty much more than 90 degrees here, and this is not. So I call this the compressed one. But the biggest giveaway is the details. You can see they're a lot larger details. The one on the right here is double stitched on the design versus single stitch. So there's some varieties out there to these two. I have all of them now. Well, no. Just by chance, one of my searches on eBay is camp workhorse patches. And one of these camp, and I'm probably not going to pronounce this right, but Mahonagon is out of West Virginia, Allahack Council, which is now merged. And I started picking up some of these. So recently, I did a post on Camp Patch Collectors because this first one here didn't have a date. So I didn't know, where it placed in here. And I think we finally decided it's probably a late 60s patch. The other thing that came about was when I made the post, a guy sent me a picture of all these in a frame that he took at camp. And the picture was bad, but when you blow it up, it became so pixelated that you just couldn't use the images. So I recreated those so everybody would know, what they're looking for. I think this 1973 is probably their last cut edge, and then they went to rolled edge with the black and white one. So I'm missing 73, 74, and 75. And they also had a district camporee patch, Stonewall Jackson district in that council. Unfortunately, the camp was sold early this year because of mergers and money. And so we've lost this camp, but at least now I know what these are. Now, the thing with the 74, 75, the 76, 77, 78 is they're a little more squatty than the earlier cut edge patches. I did notice that with the ones I have. So Here we go again. Is this all of them? Well, no. I knew there was this 1 Minute Man council, and I'd tried to trade for it before, and it just didn't work out. And I guess it was too coveted a patch in the area I was looking for it. And I ended up getting this one from Chris Jensen at Streamwood for like $8. So I thought I could afford that. With the post I did last week, I think it was last week, Rob, bless his heart, he comes back and he says, "No, Greg, you're missing these too." So, but we have scans of those that he sent me for people that do want to collect these. At least they know now what to look for and what they may be missing. And then the well kindly ran dry, and there were no more Workhorse patches that we could find easily. So I do a lot of the council designs and the lodge designs. Some of you know that. For Conclave back in 2013 when we hosted, we were wrestling with what kind of patch to do for a workday patch. And I said, well, why don't we do some of the old style Workhorse weekend patches? And the funny thing about this set is this was not the design I was going to even propose, but when the lodge executive committee wanted to approve the set to be made, this was the only ones that I had on the phone. We did the blue was the work day. Everybody got that for working one work day, and if you work multiple work days, you got this gold metallic. It was work days. Then when we were finished, the lodge advisor says, why don't we just make another one that says, "We are done, gone fishing," and that'll be kind of the thank you patch. I'm like, okay, that's a good idea. Well, how many you want me to order? He said, well, order 1,000 of them, because we're going to have 750 people that are going to be worked on staff for the conclave within the lodge. So we need to give everybody one, and then we'll sell the rest. People didn't pick theirs up, and they didn't pick them up. And after a couple of years, we just started selling them and giving them away in grab bags. This one is pretty common. Like I say, there's 1,000 of them out there. The other one, and it's not really a Workhorse, but it's what I call the classic Workhorse design with the horseshoe. The camp ranger that we had for years approached me about making a thank you patch for scout troops and scouters that had come down to camp and put in service. He wanted just to give them a patch as a thank you. And he said, what about doing something like the old Camp Reeves Workhorse patch? And I'll say, okay, good idea, John. Let me see what I can come up with you. I told him, I said, my fee is 3 sets of everything. And he said, no problem. We did a design for him. And we had different tools. We went through probably 2 or 3 revisions with different tools, and he finally decided the chainsaw and the drill driver was what he wanted to go with. There's the turquoise, the red, the purple, and the lime green. Well, the funny thing, I guess, about this is he gave me the 3 sets that I told him I needed for the artwork, and I couldn't find them anywhere. I know what happened, I think. I ended up trading them away, thinking, yeah, this was a set he gave me. So the last weekend, or this past weekend, when we were down at camp, we were having a fun day, and I was able to trade for the red and the purple one. I have these listed in the guide as Y issues or private issue. He did tell me when he was having these done, he was going to have the program director, camp director, say it was okay, because we did have OSR. That's Okanichi Scout Reservation, and he wanted that on there. Henry said, yeah, that's fine. So I don't know if John actually footed the money to have the patches made, or if the council issued a PO to have these made. So I need to talk with him and find out. These may end up becoming regular issues rather than Y issues, but that's kind of where we are with that now. So are there more out there? I don't know. That's why I run around at traderies asking, you got any Workhorse patches? It's an anniversary present. And everybody knows this at our tradery that we have here at Okanichi Lodge in August, because the weekend of our tradery always usually falls on our wedding anniversary. And I get chastised every year for going to the tradery rather than, doing something special for our anniversary. So as long as I bring home Workhorse patches, I seem to be in good grace though. So that's her little niche collection of Workhorse patches. If anybody else has any that they know of, I'd be glad to accept your scans or even propose some trades for some dupes I may have or she has. So anybody got any questions there?
Tell me, are these Workhorse patches all OA? Are they
Okay.
somewhat OA, or what's
Yep.
the OA connection?
Good. Here's what I have learned with that. Apparently, the first Camp Reeves patches or Workhorse weekends that were done at Camp Reeves, Johnny, were not well attended. The scout exec approached the lodge officer and asked about using lodge number on the patch and getting OA participation to make it a better weekend and more in attendance. So I'm leaning to say yes, the aqua patch is an OA issue. I'm not sold on the Camp Campbell just because it has an arrow on it. In our lodge collection guide, those are actually listed as collect as you see fit. So, if you want to collect them as lodge issues, collect them as lodge issues. If you want to collect them as council issues, do so. Now, the conclave issues, those are definitely lodge issues on those. And we have those listed as odd shapes in the guide.